Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Christine and I'm here to help you expand your consciousness, fully realize your true authentic self, and tap into the spiritual guidance that is within and around you. If you're new to the spiritual journey or you're just getting started, then remember to click subscribe and the bell notification below so you don't miss any future videos on spiritual growth and expansion. In today's video, I want to show you how to set up realistic goals for developing your psychic abilities and intuition. A lot of times people talk about setting goals, but I don't ever really hear people talk about setting goals for developing your psychic abilities and your intuition. So in this video, we're going to dive a little bit deep. Even though goal setting is something everyone talks about, everyone already knows the basic steps to setting your goals, but we're just going to dive a little deeper. So we're going to go through a few steps to help you set up your goals. And at the same time, I'll go through all of these goals myself and then I'll show you how I do it at the end and what my goals are. So the first step to any goal setting is actually understanding your intentions for why you want to develop this psychic ability. Like, what is the reason for you to want to develop this psychic ability or your intuition? Because let's face it, guys, no matter how much goal setting you've done, if you're not hungry enough to go after your goal, you're just not going to do it. And nothing in the world is really going to make you go after it unless something in your life changes or you're just too hungry that you're going to actually go after your goals, right? As long as your motivation and your intention is coming from a place of heart, it will last longer and you'll be fulfilled as well. The second step is to set expectations and set your goals. So now we understand our intentions and our motivation for why we want to develop our psychic ability. The second is to actually set a realistic expectation and goal that you want to accomplish with developing your psychic ability and intuition. So what exactly do you want to accomplish when you're developing your psychic ability? And be realistic on how much time and energy you're willing to invest in your psychic development. Remember to set one goal at a time, because when you're setting more than one goal, it puts you off track and you're going to be mediocre on all of your goals. But instead, you could actually be an expert and very dominant and aggressive with one of your goals as opposed to being mediocre to all of your goals and becoming distracted and demotivated. So set one goal right now and be realistic with your expectation. So set one goal and plan the specific steps to get there, which brings me to the next point of setting time out to educate yourself about psychic development and intuition. It's important to educate yourself about psychic development and intuition, because if you don't know anything about that and you just jump right in trying to open up all your chakras, trying to open up all your psychic abilities and developing your intuition, you don't really know what they are, and so it gets a little bit difficult when you don't understand things. Just like when you're performing a healing session, an energetic healing session for somebody, if you don't understand human anatomy, it might be a little bit difficult for you to, kind of like understand where all the organs are and stuff like that. Or if you're going to do animal healing for different animals, it's good to understand and educate yourself about those animals and their anatomy. So understand what psychic ability is. Understand the different psychic abilities that you have, and also tapping into your intuition, like what exactly is intuition. Those are the things that you want to educate yourself on during your free time. Set out a time for yourself to educate yourself, because education is one of the first steps to actually even developing your psychic abilities. The fourth step is to practice developing your skills by setting out a time in your day to develop it. This is the most important. Like, I would say all of the steps are important, but if you truly want to develop your psychic ability, it definitely comes down to the practice, the discipline, and the patience to develop the skills. Because if you just learn everything that you can about all of these psychic abilities and developing your intuition and how to communicate with spirits, you can learn as much as you want, but if you don't put in the practice or the time to develop your skills using practical techniques, then you're not going to be able to develop your skills quick or fast enough, or even be able to develop your skills because you're just sitting there reading instead of practicing. So step 3 and step 4 about setting time out for learning and setting time out for, practicing your skills is very important. And what you put in is what you get out. And also say no to things that doesn't help you with those steps. So if someone invites you to a party at the time that you're supposed to be practicing your psychic development, just say no, because your goal is important. And if you want to reach your goal, you're going to have to learn to set boundaries. You're going to have to stick to that time that you created for yourself and that space that you created for yourself. And also when I'm talking about developing your psychic ability by actually practicing developing that techniques, it's important to plan out the little steps of developing your psychic abilities. So for an example, if you want to develop your clairvoyant psychic ability, you're gonna make specific plans to do that, right? So for an example, you wake up at 6 a.m. and then you let your dogs out to pee, poop, and you feed your dog. And then at 6:30 is the time for you to put time into your psychic development. So at 6:30 a.m., I'm going to develop my clairvoyant psychic ability. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to listen to this meditation to help me tap into my third eye and to visualize my third eye and feel it. Then I'm going to start using my third eye. I'm going to practice using my third eye right then and there. I'm going to do this for 15-20 minutes for a full week. Your goal is to receive images throughout the whole week. How are you going to do that? You're going to do it by sitting down, going through a meditation, a visualization that's going to help you connect your third eye to the universe to be able to perceive information. When are you going to do that? You're going to do that at 6:30 a.m. every morning for about 15 to 20 minutes. Those are the plans, those are the schedules that is important, especially when you're trying to set a goal for anything. You need to plan out the steps to get there. You need to practice consistently and persistently in order to see results, because the more you tap into your psychic abilities, the more it will improve and enhance. But the less you start working on it, then the more it'll start decreasing, and then you start losing that ability to tap into the spiritual realm. So let's recap on what we've talked about so far. The first step is to set your intention and to understand your why. What is your motivation for learning to developing your psychic abilities and your intuition? The second step is to set realistic expectation and goals. So what exactly is your goal for this month, for this week, for 6 months from now, even a year from now? Just pick one goal and stick with it. Third, create time to learn about whatever it is that you've set your goal for. Fourth, develop that psychic ability. Put your education and your knowledge to practice by creating a step-by-step outline of what you're going to do on a daily basis in order to achieve that goal. The fifth step to help you stick to your plans, stick to your goals, and develop your intuition and psychic ability further is actually to get a mentor. Now, this is mandatory. It's not necessary. I mean, you can have mentors that you pay for, or you can have free mentoring through going to development groups, psychic development groups, intuitive development groups. You can even go to some churches that have mediums and psychic mentors as well. So there are free alternatives, and there are alternatives where you actually pay. For me, I have 3 mentors. I pay for 2, and one of them I don't pay for. I have a mentor who is an expert in animal communication. She isn't someone I pay for. She actually teaches my sister, and then I learn from my sister. So it's almost like I'm learning from her from afar. My second mentor is the one who's actually really connected to her souls, and she's a great energy healer as well. And she actually connects with beings of light who oversees other universes and other planets and has an overview of our soul. And I also have a third mentor who I specifically chose to help me in my psychic development and intuitive development. She was named one of the best psychics in 2017. So I don't necessarily think that you need to have that many mentors. I think having one mentor or a group to practice with or to learn from would be a great idea to have, especially when you're just beginning to develop your psychic abilities, because then you have someone to speak to, you have someone to be accountable for, you have someone who can hold you accountable for your goals, and you can have someone who just understands what it's like to be interested in this type of topic and to connect with people that way, so that it helps you become more motivated and keeps you on track than falling off rail. But I also believe that it's important to have a group of people or mentors who can assist you, because they've been where you are. So they understand the potholes, the mistakes, the failures, and what makes you successful. And they can also confirm to you what you're doing, whether it's true and accurate or whether that was made up in your mind. They can also offer you case studies, which I feel are so important, because I feel like when you do case studies, that really helps you understand where you are, what you got accurate, what you got wrong, and then they can show you and assist you with your weaknesses as well as your strengths. And the sixth step developing your psychic abilities is to actually take care of yourself throughout this whole process. Because a lot of the times when we're connecting with energies, when we're working with energies, sometimes it does take energy from us as well, and we use energy to work with energy too. So it is about setting boundaries as well through this psychic development work. So ground yourself whenever you feel anxious, whenever you feel stressed, just ground yourself. Whenever you feel like there's stuck energy within your body, run energy. Be curious to learn about these things, but take care of yourself at the same time. You know, you're developing yourself and you're investing time in your development spiritually, but you should also take care of yourself emotionally and physically and mentally. And some tips for goal setting is to actually just set your environment up for success. Find a quiet place for you to practice developing your skills. If you have a lot of people in your house, you definitely have to find time for a certain time where everyone is still sleeping, or when everyone is sleeping, so that you don't have like a lot of distractions throughout the day. And remember guys, your success depends on your hunger. You have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, persistent with the psychic development. It's not something you do 1 week and then you stop and you expect to be the same like 2-3 years. Like, you know, like it's something that you consistently need to work on. It's just like working out. When you work out your muscles, that muscle is going to get bigger, it's going to get stronger. But once you stop working out that muscle, it'll start going back to the normal way that it used to be. And just keep it simple. KISS. Keep it stupid simple. Because when we're setting goals and we make it too complicated, we feel overwhelmed and we feel like we can't achieve it because it feels beyond us. But when we keep it simple, every little step makes sense. Like, okay, I can wake up tomorrow at 6:30 and I can spend 15-20 minutes developing my psychic ability, and then throughout the day I can spend like maybe 15 minute, 20 minute, 30 minute, an hour to educate myself about psychic ability and intuition. Also, keep track of your progress, because when you keep track of your progress, you can always reflect back to see what you've learned, lessons that you've learned. It'll also keep you motivated because of how much progress you've made, and it can also inspire you to, you know, have new ideas and help you to determine what path you want to try next. So an example I'm gonna give you is one of my own that I just went through the steps and created, like literally within like less than 10 minutes I already had all my goals set up, and I just followed the steps that I've told you. So I have my computer right here, so I'm just gonna show it to you and tell you what I wrote down. So what is my intention? What is my why? What is my motivation? That's the first step. I'm gonna look down my computer and just read what I wrote on my computer. I want to develop my psychic abilities because I am able to discover my truth, my soul, and connect with energetic beings. I have discovered my purpose and mission in this lifetime, which is to inspire and uplift a generation of humanity to see their own light so that they can too begin to manifest and create a difference in this world through their own unique vibration, truth, and mission. It is my purpose and my destiny to be able to help other people develop their psychic ability. So my reason for developing my own psychic ability is to master myself so that I can teach other people how to do it and find their truth as well as their mission and purpose in life, and then let that be the drive that helps them to create a difference in this world. So my goal, my expectation, my goal is to be able to clearly communicate with divine beings, spirits, and animals by the end of the year. So setting time to educate myself. I prefer to educate myself throughout the day, watching some videos, reading some blogs, or just reading books. But my main time to educate myself is just throughout the day, little by little. But if I don't, then I definitely make time in the evening to educate myself a bit further. Setting time for practicing. So normally I wake up around 6:30 and then I let my dogs out to pee and poop, and then at 6:45 is usually when I'm upstairs at my bed, and I practice for about like an hour to an hour and a half. I dedicate about an hour to an hour and a half practicing my psychic abilities in the morning. My practice time sometimes consists of me developing my psychic abilities all at once, opening up all my chakras and being completely aware of all my senses. Sometimes I connect with my spirit guides, sometimes I connect with my spirit mentors, which are spirit guides who oversees other universes and other planets. Sometimes I connect with people's animals, like living animals. Sometimes my sister and I have case studies in the morning where we actually connect with people's animals. So we just connect with them and we understand them and we communicate together. And you know, like for me, me because I'm wanting to develop my communication with spirits and animals and basically all energetic beings. So basically I have to open up all my senses to be able to tap into this connection and communicate with them, right? This practice assists me with my goal. It helps me with my goal by the end of the year because I'm completely opening up all my senses to communicate with spirits and to communicate with animals. I'm not only developing one psychic ability right now because I feel like I am at a point where I am aware of like most of my senses at most times, so that I'm able to use all my senses to connect with energetic beings. This practice goes hand in hand with my goal of completely being immersed in the spirit world by the end of the year because I am practicing myself to immerse in the spirit world, which will help me tap into the universal energies completely by the end of the year. So basically what I'm saying right there is I want to be able to completely immerse myself in the spirit world by the end of the year. How do I do that? I learn to use all my senses to communicate with spirits and to feel their energy and to feel into them. So if your goal is to be able to clearly see with your third eye within 1 or 2 months, so then each day and each week should have something within your goal that helps you develop your clairvoyant psychic ability. Your goals need to match the steps that you wrote down. Make sure that it matches or else you're gonna have some like odd direction and you don't know where you're going. And I did mention about mentors earlier, which I already told you guys I should have mentioned in here. But like I said, I do have 3 mentors. One is for animal communication. One is for connecting with beings of light who oversees universes and planets and has an overview of my soul. And my second mentor was voted as one of the best psychics in 2017. So those are mentors who actually assist me in my goal by the end of the year by helping me connect to animals, energetic beings, and spirit guides and tapping into my intuition and psychic abilities. Like I've mentioned before, you don't have to have this many mentors. It's unnecessary. You can get mentors for free. One of my mentors one of my mentors is free, while my other 2 mentors I do pay for, who keep me accountable for my work. Now there's the part where we take care of ourselves, right? So I wrote down that I take care of myself by being a vegan. I am a vegan. I don't eat animal products. I don't eat those junk food that has animal products in them or anything like that. No milk, eggs, cheese, nothing. And that helps fuel my body with like fresh food, and it helps bring good high vibrational energy into my body, and is being processed throughout my body so that I use that energy to fuel me as I start developing my psychic abilities and also for my overall health. I also like to go to the dog park or immerse myself into nature. I like to talk to the trees, or just commenting on how beautiful the plants or the trees are, just being observant about what's around me, immersing myself in the energy of nature. I also like to do meditation and visualization as well. And I also like to play with my dogs because it brings positive energy back into my space, and I feel good and happy, and I feel blessed and grateful when I'm with my dogs as well. So just do things that takes care of yourself. If you're stressed, do something to take care of yourself. If you feel drained while doing energy work, take care of yourself. It's all about setting boundaries, learning to take care of yourself, understanding psychic work and how energy work. So there you go, guys. That is how you set realistic goals for developing your psychic abilities and your intuition. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you do, remember to like, subscribe, and remember to comment down below your goals as well as the steps that you're going to take to accomplish those goals. You can also visit my website at Spirit Tarot Guide to learn more about spirituality, and I'm also a tarot reader, so you can book a tarot reading online with me as well. And I love you. Thanks for watching, and I wish you the best. See you next time.